Good morning, everybody. Today I'm here to talk to you about community. I've always been a great proponent of community and community building. I think for those of you who love to read, I highly recommend the book by Seth Godin. It's called Tribes. And in the sense of a tribe, I've always looked at community as the cornerstone of any success. Because you know what? You hear a lot of people out there saying, I'm a self-made this, I'm a self-made that. And that's all great. But what you find deep inside in every self-made person is a large community behind them that have assisted in building that. And so to that end, I always say, you know what? The community is always far more important. So what's at the core of a community? And I'm going to talk about this subject because it's very important. It's the connection, the spirituality. It's the belief that there's something greater driving the force, creating the force, the momentum that gets generated when people get together with a common goal and a common purpose. And I always say that if you build it, they will come, right? It's a cliche that a lot of people have mentioned before, but here's one of the things that I love about community. Community allows us to build something that hasn't been created before. You know the whole sense about alone we could do something, but together we could do much more. It's that unity of purpose that generates that creates that flywheel effect. So what's the flywheel effect? In the beginning, when you start a flywheel, there's just a few people pushing it, right? And it takes a little while to get that flywheel moving. And eventually there's more people as you build your community and you build your team, and that flywheel is moving quicker. You still got to push it, right? But eventually what happens is the concept of momentum becomes effective or becomes relevant. And what is momentum? Momentum is the point in time in which things are moving without greater force. In the beginning you have all that force that you're pushing and to create the connections, to create the ability for people to work together, to generate results. That requires a big push in the beginning with a smaller group. But eventually, as the group grows, that flywheel starts turning, and eventually you have momentum. What is momentum? Momentum is a force that is generated by the movement of an object until something stops it. So for momentum to stop, somebody has to stop it. And for momentum to start, a great force has to be exerted in the beginning. That's why a lot of people give up early in the beginning of their journey, because what happens is they don't want to really do the work that it requires to build something of significance, and they're not able to build that momentum. So in order to build momentum, you have to have a few people committed in your tribe, in your community, to doing what it is you've decided to do. Whether it's building a side hustle where you're working together as a team, whether it's building a company or building an organization or some sort of a ministry, whatever it is that you're doing, it requires a group of people dedicated to generating that momentum. And the momentum is generated the minute the small group decides, you know what, we're going to do this, we're going to unite, and we're going to make this happen. And what makes that happen? It starts with a leader, and then it starts with somebody who says, you know what, I have a vision, and my vision is to reach 100 cities, or my vision is to be a global organization, and my vision is to have 100 people in my team this year. My vision is this and that, and then it starts with a why. It starts with a goal. There's a lot of things that go into effect, but really, honestly, the momentum gets created when a bunch of people decide, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter whether it rains, whether it snows, we're still going to do it. It's not going to stop. We're going to continue working it. And that's what generates the larger community. It is the creation of momentum in an organization where a few people or a bunch of people are working together to build something that's never been built before. And that's what we're doing. And if you all want to find out about Vision 100, our team is doing just that. We've got a small group of people that are working together to build something that's going to generate a momentum in time. You know what? They say that a butterfly flapping its wings can generate a monsoon in Japan. That's true, because a small effect can generate a large result in the end. And an airplane, by changing by 1 degree, can actually end up in a different location. Water boils, right? The difference between boiling and not boiling is 1 degree. And so that momentum is when you get from the point of that 1 degree and you're pushing, and eventually things are moving on their own because there are people dedicated to making it happen. That's what we're all about. Vision 100. Have a great one, everybody.